Isolation, Part 1. The House on Black Ash Road. The storm had started hours before Mara reached the cabin. She hadn't planned on driving so late, but her boss's sudden call to extend the work shift had left her crawling down the winding mountain roads after midnight, her headlights slicing through sheets of rain. The GPS had died 3 miles back, and the road was a smear of mud and fog. Mara's hands tightened on the wheel as the forest pressed close, branches skeletal under lightning flashes. She kept reminding herself, this is fine. The cabin's waiting. Just the weekend. Just silence. It had been her idea, to escape. To rent a secluded mountain cabin with no reception, no neighbors, and nothing but her thoughts. She told her friends she needed a detox. What she didn't tell them was that she hadn't slept through the night in weeks. Something had been following her dreams. The cabin appeared suddenly on the right, its silhouette hunched beneath leaning pines. The porch light flickered once, then steadied, though Mara knew she'd never told the rental service she'd arrived this late. She parked, killed the engine, and for a moment sat in the storm's muffled silence. When she finally stepped inside, she found the cabin warm, too warm, as if a fire had been burning all evening. The fireplace crackled, logs reduced to glowing red bones. Her phone buzzed once with a text, though she hadn't had service in miles. Unknown, you made it. Her heart lurched. She dropped the phone onto the couch. Glitch, she told herself. Some cache spam. Nothing works out here, remember? But when she checked again, the message was gone. The first night was the hardest. The wind screamed through the trees, shutters rattled, and when Mara finally drifted into half-sleep, the dreams came. She saw a man standing in the corner of the cabin. Not a stranger exactly, more like a figure she almost recognized, someone her memory had misplaced. His eyes burned like coal. His mouth didn't move, but she heard him say, "You shouldn't have come alone." She woke with a scream caught in her throat. The cabin was still, but she could smell smoke stronger than before, not from the fireplace, but something scorched and wet. By morning, she told herself she was being dramatic. She made coffee, walked the perimeter of the cabin, even laughed at how quiet the forest was. But as she returned, she noticed something strange on the porch. A set of footprints. Bare. Large. Leading up to her door. The wood was slick with rain, yet there was no sign of the prints leaving. That evening, while she was unpacking, a knock came at the door. Her heart jumped. No cars, no voices, just a sudden knock. She froze, every instinct screaming don't answer. But when she peeked through the window, she saw him. A man, soaked, dark-haired, rough around the edges but striking, his clothes clinging to him as if he'd walked through the storm for miles. His lips curved in a faint smile, though his eyes looked hungry. "Sorry," he said when she cracked the door, his voice low and warm. "Car broke down a mile back. Could I, maybe come in and dry off?" She hesitated, every warning bell in her mind ringing. But there was something disarming in the way he looked at her. Something familiar. Against better judgment, she let him in. His name was Adrian. He spoke little about himself, only that he'd been heading north, and had taken a wrong turn. He dried his hair by the fire, his presence filling the cabin in a way that made Mara's chest tight with nerves. Not just fear, but something else she didn't want to name. Later, when she went to bed, she swore she heard him whisper from the other room. "Mara, I've waited so long." But when she checked, he was asleep on the couch, his chest rising and falling slowly, like any other stranded traveler. She almost convinced herself he was normal. Almost. Until the second night. She woke to find him standing over her bed, his eyes glowing faintly in the dark. And when she gasped, he only leaned close enough for her to feel his breath and whispered, You brought me here,